Good morning, folks. The Mobile Observatory project is in Gatineau, Ontario tonight. Stay tuned after the news for more updates. What's this big thing entering the frame on SOHO-LASCO C3? That's Jupiter, moving in for solar conjunction in the coming days. The JPL orbital diagram steps back from Earth's orbit and allows us to see the current planetary geometry. Per Dr. Uyen's discussions, we might have guessed the sunspot number would plummet based on the impending heliocentric opposition of Saturn and Venus, also just days away. The earthquakes finally died down yesterday. It had been a fairly solid uptick. We did take some above-average tremors in places along with a good deal of activity in the West Pacific. It is calm now, so hopefully that locational swarm was just aftershocks from the bigger tremors the previous couple days. The June State of the Climate report is out for the United States, more of a precipitation story than anything. On average, June was a bit above average temperatures, but it was the minimum dailies that brought up the average as our major heat maximums were absent. Breaking it down shows a solid mix of both hot and cold. The same could be said of the spring thus far, a good mix of the extremes. Looking at 2014 so far reaches back into when cold was dominating, not just here but worldwide, and taking the last full year back into 2013 reveals about the same. The top storm on planet Earth right now just crossed the Philippines into the South China Sea. Positive thoughts please for the island nation today as they recover and China prepares for impact. My money says New Zealand is a cold place to be right now with that northern flow from the Antarctic. Southern Australia watching another cresting cloud line here. There are 2 points of note in Europe at the moment, the North Atlantic low and a disturbance over Greece and other parts of Eastern Europe. When we pull the infrared, we can see both the convergence and the storm cell quite easily. Back across the pond, that low up in Canada is weakening, and while still cold, is not pulling south as hard now at the west side. That's good news. The top watch here today will be in the central states where the northern flow out of Texas and the Gulf will bring the energy for severe weather tonight. Hopefully no tornadoes, but they are possible. We will start space weather with the solar wind. Telemetry shows that the coronal hole stream is ending as the speed falls. We already watched geomagnetic disruptions wane with the density. Solar flaring on the floor. Not so surprising when you see that the sunspot number is plummeting, as we mentioned at the start, but still a shock for solar maximum. The southern coronal hole is in its last days of geo-effective position, and positive influence is about to return with the cresting opening to the north. The backside of that one appears to reach near the equator, but that's a little bit tougher to see here in 211 angstroms. So folks, if you are in Gatineau, or you're in Ottawa, or any of the surrounding areas, please check out observatoryproject.com or the event link I provided right below this video. Love to see you guys starting at 6 p.m. right after work. Tons of emails asking when people can renew their memberships to the premium site. Our first day was July 24th, 2013. In 8 days, the website will be 1 year old. We indeed hit or exceeded every goal or content promise we made, especially with close to 65 hours of audio discussion. We'll do it again this year. Northern filament no longer a concern. Southern filament has my full attention. You stay in your seat, big guy. Eyes open. No fear at 6:20 a.m. Eastern Time, and that's the news. Be safe, everyone.